I like looking for mountains to climb. Last year, my family and I went to Kilimanjaro to climb the highest mountain in Africa. Amazing experience. I've been looking at the world at a very large scale so that it's almost incomprehensible by humans. That whole experience gives proper perspective to the things that we're trying to do. Up to this point, we've been able to look at cancer at a very high level. So we haven't been able to see more than just that two-dimensional view of the different cells that make up a tumor. Now we're able to look at cancers at multiple different scales. We can get down to the level where you can look in somebody's backyard. And the Human Tumor Atlas is a project that allows us to do that. That contextual understanding is really what's going to transform our understanding of cancer. And it's a really exciting place for us to be right now.
A bold public effort to focus on a complex set of diseases, fueled by a $1.8 billion government investment, supporting more than 240 research projects across 70 initiatives, driven by team science and data sharing, changing the culture of research to reduce the burden of cancer on everyone whose lives are affected. Cancer Moonshot.
Hi. My name is Shelley Huang. I'm Chief of Breast Surgery at Duke University. There are a few things that get me out of bed in the morning. And one of those things is to be in the clinic and to meet patients who need my care. I've seen several thousand patients newly diagnosed with cancer at this point. And I think my primary responsibility is to the patient who's sitting right in front of me. You know, being truly myself, being completely present when I'm taking care of patients, whether it's in the clinic or in the operating room. But I think research allows us to have a greater impact and possibly a greater responsibility to the patient community at large, and that is to make life better for patients who will be diagnosed with breast cancer in the future. And so one of the things I'm really excited about is being principal investigator of one of the Human Tumor Atlas network sites. The Moonshot funding was really critical in getting all of our networks off the ground. And together, we're developing new spatial technology where we're able to look not only at the tumor itself, the whole tumor, but looking at individual cells within the tumor. This is a piece of tissue. It's stained in different colors. You can really see the blood vessels, the cancer cells are coming into view. It's really neat, right? There were major gaps in what we knew about cancer. And one of the gaps was that we just didn't understand how cancers were organized in 3 dimensions. And actually that 4th dimension of time was something that we didn't understand very well either. These are the globules of the cancer cells. Now we're understanding the 3-dimensional structure of cancers and how they evolve over space and time. These are the tumor cells, the clusters of cells that you see here. I mean, it's a complete game changer. It's actually been pretty amazing, the progress that we've made since the start of the Moonshot. There's a central data coordinating center as part of H10, collecting all these very large data sets that are open sourced. And so now our community is really coming together to answer some really big questions on a much bigger scale that we weren't able to answer before. What constitutes the neighborhood where a cancer lives? How can we improve or strengthen our neighborhoods so that they're more resistant to development of cancer? Unlocking meaning in the relationships that the different parts of the tumor ecosystem have with each other is really something we've never been able to do before. The investment the American people have made has allowed scientists to make progress in ways that were not possible before.
The Human Tumor Atlas Network is being supported by the Cancer Moonshot, a White House initiative first launched in 2016 and reignited by President Biden in 2022 to accelerate the rate of progress against cancer. The National Cancer Act of 1971 set the foundation for programs like Cancer Moonshot. 50 years of progress. Nothing will stop us. U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, National Institutes of Health, National Cancer Institute, cancer.gov, 1-800-4-CANCER.